Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today, I'm going to show you our latest improvement we made. We had this big old bar. This is on the farm that we just bought. They were going to call this, what was it? Heartland Hills Subdivision? Yeah, they even had a name picked out for it. We're going to call this Green Pastures Farm. Yeah, never, ever be a subdivision. But yeah, it's pretty cool. We put these boards on the front. We put these posts on 8-foot centers. These are 9-footers, and they've all got 3 4-inch screws in them. Where they meet here, I put 5 on each board just to give me a little extra. These are CCA treated 2x8s, and this is going to have an 18-foot gate on it right here. So I've got a welder buddy that's got a cutting torch. I thought about drilling. I'm going to let him, he's the expert. But we got to get 3 holes in there that'll hold the 12-inch bolt, because each gate has 3, not 2, but 3 hinges on it. Okay, and that pipe is going to be a bear to drill. So I'm thinking cutting torch. That's what I'm thinking. Let him do it. He's an expert. He's the one. It's funny how small a world I live in. My welder, I told him I may be calling him to do something on this. When I described what I had, these big old arches, he's like, well, Greg, I welded them together for that old boy. He said, they's in the ground almost 5 foot in concrete. He said, that was quite a welding. I mean, look at that. He welded all those joints together. He did a good job. See, that's welded. I mean, Doug does good work. If you live around Sturgeon, or Moberly, or Harrisburg, you need a good welder. Doug Thompson. They're in Sturgeon. Fire me an email, I'll give you his phone number. I mean, that guy's good. Doug and I graduated in the same class of all things back in 1978. Doug went into the Marine Corps. When he got out, he took welding in high school at Votech. I took carpentry, and we rode the bus together to Votech. Anyway, I built houses and he started welding. I built my little cabin, and I built the house I lived in, and I worked for a contractor building houses that first summer when I got out of high school. And yeah, that was it. I got into other things after that. But anyway, yeah, this made a nice entrance. We're gonna be able to put a lock on here. There's people driving in here. You know, they just drive. You know, if they have a way to go, they'll drive. And this is our property line, this H-brace. It's going to be coming down through here. We have already got it cut out around those trees. Hopefully it'll dry up a little bit by Monday. Here I am hoping for it to dry up, and we're in a drought. That's kind of goofy, isn't it? You know, as farmers are, we're never happy. There's water down there in that, and there's a riffle going through there. But anyway, we got to get these posts driven. And then all along F up here, I think we counted 14. There's 14 single posts, because this has got an angle like this, and so it's got to be able to hold 5 high tensile wires without bending. So we're putting in solid treated 9-footers. They're 7-inch diameter, and just can't drive them in this clay, folks. It's powder dry down there, and you get down past 3 foot, it's like talcum powder. 750-pound driver, it will not drive that post in. So we're using the auger, and if that skid steer, we can get them whole. And so we're digging the 6-inch hole, and we're putting a 7-inch post in it, and it's working like a champ. Working like a champ. So this is my gate. Not a good gate. Keeps the honest people out. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this up, and yeah, Jan and I put this up. So the boys helped me set the post, and then Jan and I put this up on Saturday. And I'll tell you a little trick. Before I ever went and got Jan, I came over here that morning and measured all these posts out. And what I did is I calculated the height of my post, how many boards I had, each one 7.5 inches wide. They're 2x8s. And then I drilled a screw. I took a 4-inch screw and stuck and drilled them on pencil marks all the way across here with chalk line. And so these things are, I mean, look at them. Them suckers are straight. And Jan was able to hold them onto the screw for, you know, she didn't have to hold. These boards are heavy. Most of these are 16-footers, and they had a moisture in them from the treatment. I would say they weighed close to 100 pounds. But she's able to set it on that screw and hold it while I got the screw started. This thing went up like a snap. It did. It went up like a snap. So any more gates I ever put up like this, I'm going to use that screw trick. Put your screws on the bottom. Calculate out the height of your post and your spacing. Get your spacing even. And put a pencil mark on every one, or chalk it. You can use a chalk line. Chalk it. And then put your screws in, and you're ready to go. Now, where the boards meet, like on this one, they met, you got to put 2 screws, one here and one over here, to hold each board. Okay. And on posts where there is no gap or no joint, one screw right there. I'll hold that up. So we're going to cover all these up. I did that on the corral that we built. I love covering these. It preserves the life of your post. And, you know, it costs too much money just to neglect that little deal. So, yeah. But that's what I call low-hanging fruit right now. We got to get this farm fenced. And the grass is growing like gangbusters. We got another good rain last night. Folks, I am so thankful. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for the beautiful rain that we had last night. I've been praying for rain, and we finally got our prayers answered. I mean, it was a soaker. It's wet. I can hear the water under my feet. I mean, it's just, this ground soaked it up. Previous landowner, I'll give him this. He did a good job of grazing this farm. The many years that he had it, he was never overstocked. He always had grass. And in the wintertime, he didn't have to feed a lot of hay because he had a lot of grass. And that's because he didn't overgraze it in the summertime. And you don't see a lot of moss here. I don't see any. Okay. With our type grazing, when we tighten them up and we get better impact on the soil, you will start to see more clover. Folks, I don't see any clover in this pasture. Now, where the bulls are, we've had that farm now for 1 year. The same owner had it. There was no clover on that farm either. Right now, I'm guessing we have 25% in 1 year. Just by tightening up our animals, getting more stock and density, more hoof impact. Voila, here comes the clover. Okay, I don't see a single clover plant in here. But we do have a plant in here I'm really excited that we have. And it's this one right here. Folks, there is a lot of big blue stem. There's a lot of warm season grasses on this farm, which when it gets hot and dry, that particular plant right there will have a 4-foot root. That goes in conservation. I know what they've been doing. Burn, 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 burn. That's what they do. 4,200 acres over here. They do a controlled burn on it. Yeah, they're burning this grass. The same grass, only they probably got broom sedge. Anyway, big blue stem. Big blue stem. It's a wonderful grass. Yep. So I just can't wait to get my animals on here. Somebody said, what are you gonna do for water? Well, we've got 3 ponds, and we've got a creek that runs down through there. I'd say the creek is good for probably 4 or 5 months out of the year. We've got some pressurized tanks set up on top of these hills. Now that there's not a subdivision going in, the water company is a little bit more, they sounded favorable. We'll find out. We went and met with them. They're gonna let us know something, but instead of servicing 17 houses, now they're looking at maybe 4. Folks, there's only a 3-inch line up there. And the developer asked them for 17 meters, and they're like, you can go fish. You're not getting 17 meters off our water line. This is a rural water line. It was not put in for subdivisions. So, there's an old flag. Oh, there's a pin. Oh, I wonder what that one is. It needs to be driven down. You're gonna hit that with a fork. That's a rebar. The plastic cap on top of it. I don't get it. Because there's another one right over there. And of course the survey shows our property lines over there by that pole. I wonder what this one is. Huh. I don't know. To ask the surveyor on that one. There's not any more, it's just that one. We're gonna clean that up. I'm not gonna burn that in my field. Developer just pushed it out in the grass because, you know, to him grass is just grass. We're gonna bring our grapples and grab that, and we're gonna burn it on that rock down there where there's no grass. Folks, if you got a brush pile out in the middle of a really nice grass field, don't burn it. It is taking up some really good grass right there. We're gonna move it. It's gonna be moved right down there, and I'm gonna burn that puppy. We've got tons of habitat. It doesn't need to be right out here in the middle of our pasture. First thing you see when you drive in is a big old brush pile. Not hardly. But anyway, I gotta get going. Folks, y'all have a good one. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. And if you're in the fence building mood, stay tuned. We're gonna be building fence. We are in the middle of it right now. You can see there's our first rendition of our opening. I explained to you kind of how we did that. And as soon as we get all the posts along Route F, the big ones, those 9-footers drove, we're going to start putting in high tensile wire, timeless posts, some Powerflex insulators, chargers, the whole 9 yards. And I love building high tensile fence, and you're going to see why. Anyway, if you get ready to build fence, check out the description section on this video, and you can get your own discount from Powerflex Fence for your first order that you make for your farm. Only one, so make it a good order. You get 10% off. I had a guy call me the other day. He ordered everything for his farm. I think it was like $7,000. He got 10% off. Well, that's 700 bucks. 700 bucks. That'll buy you, shoot, five rolls of 4,000-foot rolls of high tensile wire. Yeah, that's a real saving. Folks, it's a beautiful day out here. I gotta get. Y'all have a great one, and see you next time.